Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video is obviously urgent. First of all, if you haven't seen my channel, hi there, I do NHL content, I do pretty consistency on just all things NHL. And you clicked on the video obviously because a huge trade just came out that Bob McKenzie just came out with a bomb, truly, with Jason Zucker, the forward from the Minnesota Wild, is being shipped off to Pittsburgh in return for Alex Galchenyuk, the Penguins' 2020 first round pick this year, and defensive prospect Calen Addison. So huge trade. Galchenyuk is a guy who's been seeming to be on his way out pretty much since he came in for Pittsburgh. Things have not worked out with him. Rutherford has been wanting to get rid of him for quite some time, and now he did it. And what a deal this is for both sides. I think it is a strong deal. You bring in the Penguins side, you bring in a guy like Zucker, who is a bona fide top six forward that gives them more depth up front on an already deadly Penguins team that has fought adversity like crazy this season with all the injuries they have dealt. And then on the other side, you have Minnesota, who really should not be pushing for the playoffs at all. In my opinion, they are more of a rebuilding, retooling type team. You bring in a guy like Galchenyuk, a young forward who has a chance to prove himself, and I can see himself thriving there in a smaller town like Minnesota. I know that they're big with hockey, but the environment is completely different than other places he's been, like Montreal. So maybe he can get his game back going there, and if things work out, then they could possibly sign him, because Galchenyuk, the 25-year-old forward, is a unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. In 45 games played this year, he has 5 goals, 12 assists for only 17 points. So like I said, things just unfortunately for his sake have not panned out in Pittsburgh, but this trade looks honestly very strong on both sides in my opinion, especially for the Penguins. And Galchenyuk had 41 points last year, and he had a career high 56 points in the 15-16 season, which really has brought a lot of promise with him in his young career, but things have only went downward since then. He had 30 goals and 26 assists that season, so that was huge. And for Zucker, the 28-year-old forward has 3 years left on his contract, which is at 5.5 mil, and Galchenyuk's contract is at 4.9, who's going to be a UFA. But Zucker has 3 years left on a modified no-trade clause, so clearly the Penguins were one of the teams that he was willing to be traded to. And in 45 games played this year, he has 14 goals, 15 assists for 29 points, had 42 points last year, and has had a career-high season 2 seasons ago in the 17-18 season with 33 goals and 31 assists. So, like I said, overall, big trade, huge move. Hopefully this kind of starts a trend of more news happening as we lead to the trade deadline, but this was a huge start in my opinion. Fantastic move for the Penguins. They get a top six forward that is going to really help them come playoff time. A veteran that has the experience. He knows what it takes to get it done in the season. And he can finally have a chance at having a deep playoff run. He's obviously been in the playoffs in the past, but nothing really that sufficient. So hopefully things work out for Zucker in Pittsburgh. And with Galchenyuk, I think that was a strong move on Minnesota's part, getting a young forward. Let's just hope for his sake that he really turns on his game for the remainder of the season. And if so, he will most likely get a contract from Minnesota out of it. And if not, then he'll hit free agency. But Minnesota did get a very solid prospect in that deal as well, which is really making this deal pretty even right now, in my opinion. Favoring Pittsburgh just a little bit, but still. Getting a guy like Calen Addison, who is one of the better prospects that the Penguins had. He was drafted in the second round, I think 53rd overall. I could be wrong. In 2018, the right-handed defenseman had a cup of coffee with the Penguins AHL team this year, and only had 3 games with them. But overall, he's been this WHL this year, and in 39 games played, he has 10 goals, 33 assists for 43 points. As a defenseman, even though it's the WHL, that is still really strong stats. His penalty minutes are kind of up. I think I saw they had 30 or 40 something penalty minutes, so that could be a little bit worrisome. But besides that, he has really been playing solid, and that is a strong prospect to get in a return like this with Zucker, who only, in my opinion, has, say 3 tops 4 years playing at the level he's at. So overall, we'll see what happens, how prominent of a prospect Addison will be going forward, but I think this trade was strong on both sides, And overall, Penguins, huge move, and Minnesota, smart move, in my opinion. Getting a younger forward that can have a higher ceiling, even though things have been on a downward trajectory past couple years for him, and they get a solid prospect out of it, so you can't go wrong, in my opinion. But that's really all I have to say about this video. I just want to get that out there quick because I know the trade just happened. So if you're a fan of either team, let me know what you think. Let me know who you think won the trade and why, and let me know if you like this video. And if you like this video, please check out others. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I do consistent NHL content and try to get it out there as soon as I possibly can for you fine people. So thank you all so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all those great things, and I will be back in a couple days.